Hey, what's up, everybody? This is me, Ray from RayNawaz.com, and welcome back to this brand new After Effects tutorial. I know it's been so long I haven't uploaded any tutorial because I was having some health issues and I was also working on some other client projects. So from now I will bring regular tutorials for all of you guys. So make sure you have subscribed to the channel and press that bell icon so you will get notified whenever I will post a new tutorial. But in today's tutorial, we are gonna create a cinematic title inside of After Effects without using any third-party plugin. So let's jump straight into After Effects and get started. But before that, if you want to download the project file of this tutorial, so link is in the description so you can download from there. Now let's jump straight into After Effects and get started. Alright guys, here we are in After Effects and let's start by creating our first composition. First of all, I will go over here and create a new composition by clicking over here and rename it to render as our main render comp. Width and height is 1920 by 1080, 30 fps and 7 seconds long, and hit OK. After that, create another composition and rename it to text placeholder as our text placeholder. After that, width and height is 1920 by 1080, 30 fps and 7 seconds long, and hit OK. Alright, after that, take the type tool and type in the text that you want by going over here. I'm gonna type cinematic trailer. For the font, I'm gonna take Single. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. You can go with Single regular and align it into the center and select the trailer text and increase its size to somewhere around here. After that, increase the leading like this. Now go over here and select this layer and align it into the center like this. Perfect. After that, go into the properties of the text and select this text. Go to Animate and add tracking. After that, go at 2 seconds and add a keyframe on the tracking amount. After that, go at the very beginning of your animation and increase the tracking like this. Alright. After that, select the both keyframes, hit F9 on your keyboard, or you can right click keyframe assistant and you can use easy ease as well. After that, select the both keyframes, go to into graph editor, make your graph something like this. Perfect. After that, go back to your main composition and right click over here and create a new solid layer and rename it to BG for background. For the color, it's completely black. Hit OK. After that, go into effect and preset window and search for 4 color gradient. So when you will type the 4, it will pop up over here. Drag and drop this effect on your layer, and after that, these are the 4 colors that you can use. For the first color, I'm gonna take dark blue color from right over here. For the second color, I'm gonna choose something around here. For the third color, I'm gonna select this pick whip and keep the second color, and for the fourth color, select the pick whip and select the first one like this. So we will have kind of a shade in it. All right, so after that, select this layer and lock it. After that, right click over here, create a new solid layer and rename it to smoke and hit OK. After that, go into effect and preset window and search for fractal noise and drag and drop this effect on this layer and you will see this window. So don't worry, we will keep it simple and easy for you. So that's it. All right, after that, fractal type set to basic, noise type to spline, set the contrast to something around 200. After that, go into transform properties and make sure you are at the very beginning of your animation and add a keyframe on offset turbulence, and after that, go at the very end of your animation. After that, we have this point right over here. All right, you have to select this point and drag it something like here. All right, after that, go to the evolution properties and hold Alt on your keyboard and click on this stopwatch icon. So you will see this new window will pop up, and simply we have to type time times 50. Alright, then click somewhere around here and close the properties of this layer. Alright, so this is how our animation will look like. Alright, after that select this layer and make sure your selection tool is selected and double click on this rectangle tool and a new mask will be created like this. After that select this point of the mask and drag it like so, something around here. After that select the smoke layer and press F on your keyboard to reveal the mask feather properties and set the feather to something around 800 or something. Alright, after that change its blending mode to classic color dodge and this is our mask will look like. And we made a kind of a smoke effect, something like this. After that select the smoke layer and press T to reveal the opacity properties and reduce its opacity to something around 70%. Alright, after that create a new solid layer and rename it to particles. For this we have to change its color to white and hit OK. After that go into effect and preset window and search for CC particle word and drag and drop this effect on this layer. So this is also complicated effect, so don't worry, I will explain you how you can create the desired effect. So first of all we will go into particles and change the particle type to lens convex. After that change the birth size and depth size. So let me tell you what is the birth size and what is the depth size. So birth size is the size from where this particle will start, alright, and the depth size is where this particle will disappear. Alright, I hope that makes sense to you. So for the birth size we will go somewhere around 0.07. Alright, and for the depth size we will go somewhere around 0.110. I think that's a sweet spot for me, so you can try it for yourself as well. After that close the particle properties and go into physical and change the animation to cone axis and change the velocity to somewhere around 0.46 and after that change the gravity to 0.01 or something like that. After that go into direction axis and change the x-axis to -1 and change the y-axis to somewhere around 0.6 and close the properties of the physics. After that go into producer and change the x position to somewhere around 0.5 and y position to somewhere around -0.3. After that change the radius x to somewhere around 0.2 or something, a 3 maybe, and after that change the radius y to somewhere around 0.8 and z radius to somewhere around here. Alright, after that close the properties and change the longevity to somewhere around 6 or 7 maybe, and change the birth rate to somewhere around 0.7 would be a sweet spot, and this is our animation will look like. Oh, that's sorry, we have to change 0.7. That's the sweet spot, sorry. Alright, after that change its blending mode to classic color dodge and this is our effect will look like. Alright, after that drag and drop this text placeholder in between these layers right over here. After that create a new composition and rename it to reflection map. Width and height is 1920 by 1080, 30 fps and 7 seconds long, and hit OK. After that we have this asset, this reflection map, drag and drop it here. After that press S on your keyboard and reduce its scale properties like this. After that go into effect and preset window and search for motion tile and drag and drop this effect on this layer and increase the output width to somewhere around 250 or 300 in between that. After that go at the very beginning of your animation and add a keyframe on title center and go at the very end and change its properties to somewhere around here, maybe here. Here we have this point, so we can select this point and hold shift on your keyboard and drag it like this. Perfect, like this. Perfect. After that go into a main composition and drag and drop this reflection map right over here. After that go into track matte option and change the track matte to text placeholder like this. So if you are using the older version of After Effects, so let me tell you how you can do that in the older version of After Effects. So here we are in the older version of After Effects. Simply drag and drop this map layer over here and make sure this layer is below or main text placeholder, and go into track matte option, and you have to select alpha matte like this, so this effect will be created. Alright, now let's jump back to our newer version of After Effects. After that, select this map layer and go into effect and preset window and search for CC glass and drag and drop it over here, and go into service and select the bump map to our text placeholder. After that, change the softness to 30% and height to -30, displace to somewhere around -500. After that, again go into effect and preset window and search for CC bloblize effect and drag and drop it over here. After that, go into blobbiness and change the blob layer to text placeholder and change the softness to somewhere around 7 or 6% and change the cutaway to somewhere around 2%. Alright, after that, go into effect preset window and search for tint effect and drag and drop this effect over here. So I'm using this effect to change the color of our title, so we will have the fully freedom to change its color. So for the black map, I'm gonna choose something around this color, this cyan color right over here. White map, I'm gonna choose something like this color right over here. Okay, wait a minute, I think we have to change the black map to somewhere around this dark color to give it a more professional look to somewhere around here. All right, and now we have click on this toggle switches and convert all the layers into 3D like this. After that, select these last two layers and press P to reveal the position properties and increase their positions to something around 15 or 1600, somewhere around here. After that, press S to reveal the scale properties and increase the scale to somewhere around 180 or 170 maybe. Alright, somewhere around here. Now close the properties of these two layers. After that, right click over here and create a new camera and hit OK. Again, right click over here and create a new null object, and by holding Ctrl on your keyboard, double click on the span behind tool, so the anchor point of this null layer will be moved in the center. After that, align it into the center like this and make it 3D as well. Now select this camera layer and make the null layer the parent of this camera. After that, select this null layer and press P for reveal the position properties and go at 2 seconds and add a keyframe on position property and go at the very beginning of your animation and increase the position until our title is outside of the screen like this. After that, select both of these keyframes, right click keyframe assistant and make them easy ease. After that, go into graph editor and change the graph to something like this. Perfect. So this is our animation will look like, but to give it a more professional and dynamic look, we will create another null layer like this and move the anchor point into the center and align it into the center like this and make it 3D. Make the null 2 the parent of this null layer by selecting this pick whip and make the null 2 the parent of the null 1. After that, select the null 2 and press P to reveal the position properties and go at the very beginning of your animation and add a keyframe on position and go at the very end of your animation and reduce and take the Z position to all the way something around 250 or 200. In between that, I think 200 is a sweet spot, I guess. Yeah, that's a sweet spot. So this is our final title animation looks like. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you have learned something new in this tutorial, and if you really did, please like this video and share it with your friends, and also subscribe to the channel. And I will see you in my next video. Till then, keep practicing, keep growing. Bye.